Hey F1 fans, welcome to the last episode of Who Moved Up and Who Moved Down in the Formula One Drivers and Constructors Championships for 2025. And you saw my face on the thumbnail. Max did not win. He came within 2 points. Oh my God, if any one of 1,000 different things didn't happen during this season, he actually would have been champion, coming from 104 points behind the leader in mid-season. So it was super exciting, super exciting. Let's take a look at what happened. Starting with the Constructors Championship. Ready? Oh! I feel like we might have missed something there. Well, waiting 3 races in order to do the next presentation, because I feel like there might have been some back and forth, maybe swap and a swap back, but right now I don't have that in my memories. So, wow. But I don't think there were any swaps at the front. It could have only been between Arby's and Aston Martin. So, wow, there we have it. The end of the standings as they stand. McLaren won, of course, many races ago. And Team Max ends up in 3rd, which is just so incredibly impressive. Team Max beat Team Ferrari, which includes Lewis Hamilton. So, wow. Just wow. Let's go forward and check out the driver's stuff. Yup, don't we know it? Max's charge continued and he got ahead of Piastri at the end of the game. And as we already said, he finished within 2 points of the World Championship. But let's not forget to celebrate. Lando Norris gets his first World Championship. They are all deserving people. They've all had the dream and climbed the ranks through Formula 4, of course, karting and F3, F2, and finally F1, and then having to be in teams that are not winning and this and that. So yeah, Lando has been through it. He really, I think, came into his own mindset towards the end of the season there, where at first it was just fake it till you make it, I think. He was just repeating it. I'm not focused on the championship. I'm not focused on that. I'm only focused about getting the best out of this race. And I was like, I don't believe you. You're just saying those words. You're actually still in your head and you're afraid of Max. But no, I think he actually held it together. And this is something he will take forward with him for everything ahead of himself, is this mindset of don't mess yourself up by putting extra pressure on because of something that it just cannot change your outcome. Just knowing that it's close or the pressure's on because of the championship must not change how you do your race. You must still do your best possible race. In the end, that's what you should do for a normal race, and that's also what you should do for a championship deciding race. Your absolute best and the team's absolute best. So Lando got it, and there we are. Okay. Look at that. So Sainz and Alonso had a wonderful run, going from, 40s, low 40s to all around 60s. And Sainz got the better of Alonso. Alonso had a great streak towards the end of the season. So yeah, both of them just started to show a lot of form. But in the very end, it was Sainz who came out on top. And of course, because of those races, we had, of course, a few drivers who had to give way for those stellar climbs. Now here we have still tied. So isn't this crazy? Hulky and Hajar were tied, and here they are. Both got more points, still tied. And so Hulky wins on, I think it's obviously not the most wins, but most highest finishing positions and stuff like that. So yeah, Hulky comes out on top, then Hajar, and Behrman drops down a bit. He's been having great form, but he had some bad luck and penalties and just a bad race. Okay, and finally, Ocon gets the better of Stroll. Stroll actually started out good at the beginning, and he started to get some wind back towards the end of the season. But, you know, there's always luck. And did you notice Stroll actually has started talking? Like, instead of just going, "Nyeh." He actually, you know, will answer the interviewer's question and say a little bit more and maybe say 12 to 15 words. So maybe Stroll has actually come into a better place as well. Okay, and the rest stayed where they are. The Russell got fourth, of course. The Ferrari stayed next. Hamilton managed to finish, well, nowhere near Leclerc actually, but also well clear of next, which Antonelli is far behind Russell for Mercedes. And then, wow, then both of the Williams, one coming in from behind at the last minute. Alonso with poor Stroll sagging down here. Hulky with Bortoleto down here. He's learned tremendous amounts. He's actually had a lot of bad luck and also his own mistakes. So I look forward to seeing a lot more from him. Hajar fell, which I didn't like to see, but what can you do? It wasn't really through doing bad. He had a tire puncture one time, so that's going to mess you up. Let me look at the big screen over here instead of the little screen. Ollie Behrman, wow, finishes ahead of Ocon, even though Ocon edged up and Behrman edged down. So very good job for that rookie. Liam, decent placement, not really close to Hajar. And let's see, Yuki. I love Yuki and I will miss Yuki, but they decided to take Hajar, not really surprising, who's been absolutely brilliant and level-headed. Yes, he beats himself up a lot, but hey, maybe he'll be able to drive the new Red Bull in 2026, because this Red Bull here has taken out many a second driver. Maybe Sergio Perez wasn't so bad after all, because he was actually finishing races like sometimes in the points, and he had a lot more points than 33. Speaking of 33, Max will no longer be number one because Lando has said he will use number one, and also because Max is no longer the champion. He's been dethroned after 4 amazing championships. But Max actually has always wanted the number 3. He only took 33 because 3 isn't available. It's still not technically available. Daniel Ricciardo technically still has dibs on that number. But I think if all that can get straightened out, permission given, forms filled out, whatever, yada yada, Max might actually get number 3, which he wanted to use. So we'll see what he gets. And of course, Max, being Max, has been joking about getting 69 because that would be just funny. All right. And finally, at the end, we've got the poor Alpines who could not wait till this year was over. They will hopefully have a better car because they did kind of sacrifice the season. No upgrades for most of the season, just drove as best as they could with what they had. And so that development time could go into the 2026 car. So we'll see. And of course, poor Colapinto is at the end, and Bortoleto, as we said before. We have a couple of ties. We discussed that one. We had, oh wow, this was a tie as well. And Lawson came out on top based on placement finishes and like the number of P8s, or you know what I mean, wherever they had their highest mark versus the other guy. And Stroll and Yuki got tied. So yeah, Yuki got the shorter end of that stick. But you know what? Yuki remains as test driver. He's still in the team. And who knows, many a driver like Bottas have backed up, been a test driver, and then got scooped up by another team. So it's completely reasonable. I think Yuki has come a long, long way. He's very level-headed now, and I think he's a great driver. Just because he couldn't overcome the curse of the second Red Bull doesn't mean that he is a bad driver. All right. Now, I've got a couple of treats. As you see in the thumbnail, we're going to look at the animation But I have a second one for you to really zoom in on some of the more exciting part of that that championship race. So yeah, let's take a look at that. Okay, so let's just go from the beginning. Max gets a good start. Actually, what I noticed here is this is where Albin, what am I talking about? Albin. I'm looking at Max going, that doesn't look like Albin. Yeah, Albin got a great start at the beginning, as well as, yeah, Hulky. But yeah, Ocon definitely took off better at the beginning of the season. And Stroll, that's when Stroll kind of got a good getaway. Okay, yeah. Anyway, and George, of course. Yeah. Wow. Sainz is standing still. I'm watching that part now. But yeah, as we reach towards the end of the season, Max's charge starts to happen. When you look at it like that, you really can see like, uh-oh, those McLarens maybe should start to worry, and that's when Lando gets his form. Let me grab the laser pointer. Lando gets his form right about here. And then Max is catching up more, passes Piastri. And my goodness, it's a photo finish of 2 points. Not really, but you can also see how big the gap is visually between Charles and Hammy. Yeah. Oh, and yeah, between Max and Yuki. All right. Wow. Now, the other one I had was like so, focusing right in since Britain and after to the charge of Mr. Max Verstappen. And here we go from Netherlands. He just starts pulling ahead. You can really see why McLarens are like, oh my God, let the season end. Oh my God. Whew, the season ended. And yeah, wow, that's just wow. Unbelievable. Like, this will be one to remember. Yeah, Max didn't win, but the closeness, the fact that we had a three-way battle at the last race, there wasn't too much excitement. A lot of things contributed, right? Like, remember in Las Vegas, both McLarens were disqualified. So that's a huge gift to Max. And then in Qatar, Lando, he finished a P4, so that's another gift while Max goes on to win. So this is kind of, Max has really done absolutely everything. And one more race and that he would have had it. I keep saying. So that's it. There ends the 2025 Formula One season. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching, and especially if you've liked the videos or subscribed, because that of course helps YouTube know that they're any good, and it'll start showing them to other people and the channel can grow. So off we go to the winter break, and obviously we'll be coming back in March. A long time, I know, without Formula One. I actually probably won't be doing this format next year. I'll probably come up with something a little different, and we'll see. I have to find the motivation. But in the meantime, I'll probably focus in on my virtual reality stuff and some gaming. So I'm developing my own virtual reality game base, shall we call it, on which I can develop multiple games, having all the groundwork done. But I'm also still somewhat involved with freelance, so I'll probably be jumping in there and just making a bunch of videos on either how to do stuff or just some playthrough stuff. So I know a lot of F1 people probably won't be into that as well. Feel free to skip all those and look out for the next Formula One content. Again, thank you, and see you on the other side.